So on 0, I have to print all n-1 value square. What they are asking? Print I square. So for that, how we need to write the program? Here they are giving
Ma'am,
some
voice cut
constraint.
అయిపోతుంది మ్యామ్. వాయిస్ కట్ అవుతుంది మ్యామ్.
Please adjust for that for today. I can't do anything. There is some network issue with my net.
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
I will try to resolve by this day. Please adjust for the day because I already made complaint for them, but still they are checking the lines. So I need 1 day time. So please adjust for this day. Okay, you can able to view the
ఓకే
this
మ్యామ్.
data, right? So I will type you
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
each and every line along with the comments. So don't worry. If it is not clear, again I will type. So what they are asking? So if n value is given, what we have to print? We have to print the squares of each number on separate line. So that means if I give 3, so I have to print square of 0, 1 and 2. That means 0 square, 1 square, 2 square. So what is the input format? The first and only line contains the integer n. So if they give the integer n, we have to print all the squares. For suppose 5, here we have some other sample input. For 5, the output is 0, 1, 4, 9, 16. So here what is the output format? Print n value, 1 corresponding to each I. So print n lines. For suppose if a value is n, I have to print n lines. So let's start writing the code for it. This. So here they have already written some stub. So we have to include the complete program. So here n equal to int of input. So they are reading some input n value. What we have to do? We have to read, we have to take an I value. Before taking I value, what we have to check? We have to check one constraint. What is that constraint? Before for loop, which constraint I have to place? So here they have given some constraint, that is 1 less than or equal to n less than or equal to 20. What they are telling? 1 less than or equal to 1 less than or equal to n less than or equal to 20. So first we need to include that constraint. So if n greater than or equal to 1 and n less than or equal to 20, then we have to include the for condition for. So here we have to use the range function. Why we have to use the range function? Because we need to get all the values from 0 to n minus 1. So I can directly use the range of n, then I will get all the values from 0 to n minus 1. So for I in range of n, so now by using this range function, I will get all the values from 0 to n minus 1. What I will get by using range, we will get values from 0 to n minus 1. Okay. Next. In next line, what we have to do? In next line. So now we need to calculate square of this I. How to get the square of this I? Either you can multiply I into I, or you can use exponential operator. What is exponential operator? Exponential operator is star star. So I can either use print print of I into I, or you can also use, instead of I into I, you can also use I exponential operator of 2. That means I square. You can either use I into I or I square. This is to produce square of I. So shall we check the program whether we have written the correct program or not? Yes. Here we can see the congratulations, we have passed the test case. So let's submit this code and check whether uh, we'll gain the program or. Yes, fetching results. Your test 1 and test 0 passed the test. So I will get congratulations, you have won the first star. So as I told you earlier, if I get these badges, based on these badges, you can include these badges in your resume, which will increase your resume weight. So you will have a better edge when compared to the other person. So for suppose if both of you are having same percentages and same things, then these type of badges will helps you. So try to register in Hackereth or Hackereth and try to practice different type of questions and try to attempt challenges. So sometimes your company people will uh, recruit you based on these challenges only. So let's go for the next challenge. So write a function. So initially we have all the basic concepts. So here you already know what is functions and how we will write a function. Here they have given you some lengthy problem. Try to understand the problem first, then we will apply the concept. Okay. Look at the question, Ma. If my voice is disturbing, please read the question by yourself. Okay, any doubts in previous class?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Just read the question and tell me if you have any doubts. An extra day is added to the calendar almost every 4 years as Feb 29th, and the day is called a leap day. So at every 4 years we have Feb 29 and we call the day as leap day. It corrects the calendar for the fact that our planet takes approximately 365.25 days to orbit the sun. So in order to fill this 0.25, every 4 years we will have one leap day. So leap year contains the leap day. When we will call a leap year? If we have this leap day, that is if we have Feb 29th in the calendar, then we call that year as leap year. So in the calendar, three conditions are used to identify leap year. What is the condition is if the year can be evenly divided by 4. What do you mean by evenly divided by 4? If the year is exactly divided by 4, then we call that year as leap year. Unless the year can be evenly divided by 100, it is not a leap year. Unless the year is also evenly divided by 400, then it is leap year. So what they are giving? If the year is divided by 4 and not divided by 100, I mean, if the year is divided by 4, we can consider it as leap year. But if the year is divided by 100, it is not leap year. But again, in this case, if it is divided by 400, we can consider it as leap year. That means all multiples of 400 are considered as leap year. If not, again, all hundreds is not considered as leap year. and all the years which is divided by 4 will be considered as leap year. So for example, 2000 and 2400 are considered as leap years, and 1800, 1900 to these are the numbers which is not divisible by 400 but divisible by 4 as well as divisible by 100. So these years are considered as not leap year. This is the task. So what we have to do, if the given if a year is given, you have to determine whether it is a leap year or not. So if it is leap year, you have to return true. If it is not leap year, you have to return as false. So here they have given you some constraints. So what they are telling, note that code stub provides or reads the std in and pass arguments to the esleep function. So esleep function declaration was also given. So what you have to write, you have to complete that esleep function. So what is the task for us? We need to complete this esleep function. So what are the inputs for this? The input is year. So what is the input? Input is given by the automatically given by the compiler. It was taking year. So what is the constraint that we need to check? Year should be greater than 1900 and it should be less than 10 power 5. So we have to include this constraint in the function. So next, the function must return Boolean value either true or false. When we need to return true, if it is leap year, we have to return it as true. If it is not a leap year, we have to return it as false. Got it? When we need to write it as leap and when we need to write it as false. So if it is a leap year, we have to consider as leap year. If it is not leap year, we have to print false. So here if you observe, they have written some input statement stub and here they have provided the function. Inside the function, they are taking one leap variable. So here leap variable is false initially, and we should not change whatever code they have given. We need to update the values based on the, we need to do the further steps. So write your logic here. So I will start from the next line. So what is the first condition that we have to check? The first constraint that we have to check is whether the year is in between 1900 to 10 power 5. So first I'm checking the same condition. If year is greater than or equal to 1900 and year less than or equal to 10 power 5. Any doubts? Okay. Next. So here I have included this constraint. After checking this constraint, if this constraint satisfied, then I will check whether it is leap year or not. What is the first constraint? First, we have to see whether year is divisible by 4 or not. So here I am writing one more condition. If year is divisible by 4, then what I can say, if year is divisible by 4, then I can say that year is leap year. Okay. So again, before saying that, what is the condition again? Even though if it is divisible by 4, we have some constraint here. If the year is divisible by 100, we have to tell it as not a leap year. So it is divisible by 100. That means here they have already shown you. You have to use nested if condition. Main if, next sub if, and sub if. So within this condition, what I have to place? If year divisible by 100, then what I have to say? Again, we have to check if year is divisible by 400. So again, within this hundreds, again we will have one special case, that is 400. If it is divisible by 400, what I can say? I can say it as leap year. So if it is divisible by 4, what I can say? Leap equal to, I will make it as true. I will consider it as true. Otherwise, else case is false. So else case is false. Next, for suppose. So I'm not including else condition for this if loop because already leap is false, so it won't get updated. So I am leaving there. So again here, if the year is divisible by 4, then what I have to say? If the year is divisible by 4, then what I have to say? Then also it is true. I'm not writing the false condition. So here what is the false condition? So if the year divisible by 100, that is false condition. Already it is in the false case. So I am not including it. So when I have include, if year is dividing, I mean, if the year is exactly divided by 4, but it's not multiple of 100, then I can say the year is leap year. So else, if the year is not, here else case, again here leap equal to, I think no need of this else also, because it's already in true statement, so no need of this. So that's it, ma. So for what we have include this if condition. This if condition will specify whether year is divisible by 4. Then it is leap. Again, if it is divisible by 4, again we have one more condition. If year is divisible by 100, then we consider it as not leap. Not leap. Again in this constraint, again if the year is divisible by 400, we will consider it as true. So if the year is 100 divisible by 100 but not divisible by 400, then it is false. So I'm not updating this false statement. Automatically it will be considered as false. So for suppose if the year is not divisible by 100, I can directly say the year as leap year. Here the condition is year divisible by 4 but not divisible by 100. So in that case also we can say the year is leap year. So I am making it as true. That's the reason why I made it as true. So shall we run the program? I think this is enough for this program. False, false. So condition satisfied. If I give 1990, our output is false and the expected is also false. Let's go and submit the code. So here we have successfully completed the this challenge. Shall we move on to the next challenge, or shall we do some regular problems? Did you
We'll do some
understand this?
regular.
Okay, okay, okay. Look at this program. Write an algorithm to find write an algorithm to find the character used to encrypt the given character. So what we have to do, we have to find a character for the given character. That means we have to perform encryption. So here we have some set of test cases or test samples. So if the input is D, that means the character given is D, and if I input value 3, encryption value, what I have to print? I have to print third character from D. What I have to print? I have to print third character from D. So how to do this task? How I can accomplish this task? How I can accomplish this task? Any ideas? So let's start programming, then you will get some idea.
Okay, ma'am.
So here what they are asking, I have to written encrypted character. For suppose if I input as D. So if I input D and 3, what I have to do? D plus 3. I have to perform D plus 3 and I have to output it as G. Let's take alphabet sequence A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So if you observe here from D, G is the third character. This is after how many places? So 1, 2, 3. I mean, got it? So I have to print in this format. For suppose if I give 4 here, what I have to print then? I have to print it as H. Fourth character from D. So
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can, how can we do this task? So one way of doing this task is, let's take some alphabet string, and in this alphabet string include all the letters from A to Z. Then whatever the character that you have inputted, take the index. How to get the index of the character? You can use a function called index. So for this index, give the whatever character that you have read. Okay, so you will get some index value. Now for this index value, you can directly substitute or you can directly add value. Here the index value is of type int. So what I can do, I can add the value and again find print the value at that position. That means how can I print? Simply like alphabet of I plus the value, means I will get that respective alphabet. This is one way of doing this problem. So this is one way. Let's see. So what I said, we have to take one alphabet, alphabet string. So what I am doing is, to this alphabet string I am including all the characters from A to Z. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So what I am doing, I am including all the values from A to Z. Then here what are the key points that we have to read? I have to read the character and I have to read this value 3. What I have to do? So I have to read char equal to int input of. So first what I will give, first I will input some character. Here what I am going to input, I am going to input some value D. Next, so here in this compiler, whatever the compiler I am using, here in this compiler you have to provide all the inputs in this box. My std input దీంట్లో మనం అంతా inputs provide చేయాలి. And here we have to enter the data. Then if we press execute, it will automatically input these inputs to this program. Next, so after character D, what I want to send, I want to send how many times I need to add the value. That means count or encrypt code. I can consider it as encrypt code. What is this encrypt code? Again I need to input it. Input of. So let's consider it is 3. Now what I have to do? So as I already told you, we have index function as well as find function. Let's see we have or not. Str equal to, and just typing hello. I'm taking one string. Str dot index of. So what it will give? It will read one substring. It will read substring and it will output the index value. So I'm using the same index here. So here I am using I equal to, in I will get the index I equal to. So I have to always alphabet. So what I am doing means, first I am identifying where this D index is in this alphabet. So alphabet dot alphabet dot, that means string dot. I have to index is a string function, so I have to call index with the string variable only. So alphabet is a string variable dot index. So within this index, I need to provide the substring with which I want to found in this alphabet. What is the string I need to found? The string is char. So I have to input as char. I have to give the substring which I need to find. Next. Next. Now I will get index value. By using this step, I will get index of given character. So I will get index of given character. So next, what I have to do now, I need to perform encryption operation. I need to perform what operation? I need to perform encryption operation. So how to perform encryption operation? By simply adding the given value to the character value. If I add this index position with the value, I will get the new index position. So for suppose, simply print alpha alphabet of I the given character index position plus encrypted code. What I have to do? Given character plus encrypt code, then I will get the new encrypted value. So shall we run the code?
Yes, ma'am.
So here there is some error. Okay, sorry. Here I am using int conversion. Here there is no need of int conversion because we are reading a character. So for D and value 3, the answer is G. So which is the test case they have already given. So shall we run for this next one, I and 10. So if it is I and the value is 10, which value I need to get? If I input I and 10, I need to get S. Shall we run the code? Yes, I got S. Okay, well and good. Next. So we have one more test case. We will try
Yeah,
it
we
for
will
this
complete.
test case also. So P and 20. P 20. Let's see whether it is giving the desired output or not. Here it is throwing one error. What is that error? String index out of range. So what is the index value for P? So I will make in the mind. What is the index value of P? So if I what is the index value of P? P is 15. If I perform 15 plus 20, what happens? 35. I will get value 35. 35. How many alphabets we have in English? We have only 26 alphabets. How I can perform uh, 35? So to overcome this, whenever my limit cross 26 characters, again we have to move back to the starting position. How I can move back to the starting position means by simply performing modulus. What I have to do, if I perform modulus of 26, always my range will be within 0 to 25. So what I have to do, I have to perform modulus of 26. If I perform modulus of 26, then see what is the output here. So if I input P20, the output is J. What is the output? The output is J. Is this the desired output or not? Ma, who's that? Do you have any doubts, ma? If you don't have any doubts, just pause it. Ma, understood why I placed 26? Intentionally I made this mistake because if I explain you before, you won't understand. Generally we have 26 characters in English alphabet. So if I keep on adding the values, for suppose if user gives something like 100, 15 plus 100 becomes 115. So it is out of range of alphabet. We have to always, whatever the value we got, it has to be in the range of from A to Z. So to bring it into the range, what I am doing here, I am performing modulus of 26. Why 26? Why I am using 26 here? Because I have 26 alphabets. So remember this point, whenever you want to bring any number, any numerical number within some range, give the maximum range limit here by using modulus, then your number will be within the specified range. The range will be within from 0 to n minus 1. Okay. If I run this code, P and 100, the answer is L. So here 100 is an encrypted code, whatever the code we want to encrypt. So actually this program is based on Caesar cipher. This technique is called Caesar cipher, which is studied in cryptography and network security subject by computer science students, and it is used for encrypting data. I mean, to create some secret message. To improve confidentiality, we use these type of codes. So it's one of the simple program. Here how many lines we have written? Hardly for suppose if I written it in the function, we need hardly 4 lines of code. If you want, you can further reduce it. Any doubts? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Let's see some other question. So now let's go for some easy question. So here biggest triangle, given breadth and height of two triangles. So what we have to say, which triangle is biggest triangle? So based on breadth and height, how you can say a triangle is biggest? Whether you will say based on breadth or height or based on area. Here what is the question? Biggest triangle. I mean they have given you breadth and height of two triangles. What you have to find out? You have to find out biggest among those two triangles. So based on what you will check which triangle is biggest, whether the first one or second one, based on what constraint, whether based on breadth or height or based on area or parameter. What is area of triangle? If breadth and height given, what is area of triangle?
Half into B into H.
Half BH. Okay. What is parameter? What is perimeter of triangle? So, okay, we will check the biggest triangle based on area of triangle. So, what we have to input first, we need to input breadth and height of first triangle and breadth and height of second triangle, and we need to calculate the area. If the area of first triangle is highest, we can print it as, I mean, we can print first triangle is biggest. If area of second triangle is greater, then I can print second triangle is biggest. Can you try this code and tell me how you can write this code? Try this code, ma. Try this code. Try to write code for this program and show it to me. So simply the step, what are the steps involved is first you need to write read lines like read breadth 1 and height 1 and breadth 2, height 2. You have to read these 4 values. So by using which function you can read these values? By using input function. So after reading these values, what I have to do? I have to calculate area of first triangle. A1 equal to half into breadth 1 into height of first triangle. In the same way, I will calculate area 2. Half into breadth 2 into height 2. Then what I can do? You have to check the condition. If A1 greater than A2, then triangle 1 is biggest. If this condition fails, if this is fails, then you have to print triangle 2 is biggest. So try to write code for this. I have explained you algorithms, different steps, how to write the code and try to write this code. So in lab session, that means in 3-4 hours, you have to write this code and show it to me, and you need to practice different problems which we have discussed in this week as well as in the previous week. Because in previous week, the session has been taken by Funny Sir, so okay, so we don't have any practice time at that point, at that time. So let's practice all the basic questions what was discussed by the Funny Sir. All at the same time, we also practice all the programs which we discussed in previous week as well as this week. Okay. Try to write code for this, ma. First, you have to read B1, H1, B2, H2, and then you have to calculate A1 and A2, and then you have to check. How you can check whether A1 greater than A2? Which condition or which command you have to use here? Which command we have to use here? I think you forgot. For checking any condition, which command you will use? If within if you have to write if A1 greater than A2, then you have to print within the body, you have to print T1 is biggest, else T2 is biggest. I think it is the most easiest way to write the program, and we will continue this program in the practice session. Okay, take break for 10 minutes and get back by 10:50. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
So
ma'am.
meanwhile, try to think how to do that program.